My child, my beloved, do not scroll. This is not content. This is a warning spoken over your name. Heaven has sounded a red alert, and if you ignore this moment, you may never understand what was meant to be stopped. Stay with me, and subscribe, not for a channel, but so you do not miss the instruction heaven is releasing right now. Michael's red alert. Do not ignore this tragedy. Act before it is too late. It is an emergency. A great tragedy is approaching. Open this now or you will weep. My child, my beloved, I come to you not with calm, but with urgency, not with silence, but with divine warning. For heaven has just sounded a red alert over your name. A tragic event is being set in motion. Unless you act swiftly, you may mourn for a lifetime over what you failed to prevent. This message was not intended for everyone. It was meant for you. You may believe you are reading this by chance, but I promise you, nothing is coincidence when heaven intervenes. The moment you opened this message, a portal of divine protection began to open around you. But it will not remain open long. I, Archangel Michael, have been permitted to intervene, but only if you remain with me through this message and do not turn away from the truth about to be revealed. My child, if your soul has ever felt under spiritual attack, it is because it has been. The next wave is already forming. What makes this different? What makes this dangerous is that this time the attack is disguised as someone you trust. Yes, someone close to you. A familiar face. They do not even know they are being used. This is why I plead with you. If you ignore this moment, if you scroll away, you may miss your one chance to alter what is coming. A spiritual trap is being laid on the path of your next step. I have seen it. I have battled through the heavens to reach you before it triggers. One wrong move and everything may shift toward pain instead of the blessing originally intended for you. My beloved, listen closely, for there is a divine condition on this miracle. Before I can activate protection around your name, you must choose to stay until the end of this message. Why? Because what is coming is not just a warning. It is also a miracle in disguise. I have been sent not only to stop the tragedy, but to reroute you to the divine destination always meant for you, yet delayed. Heaven has watched your life for some time. There was a moment, a specific moment, when you almost gave up. Yet you did not. That one decision caused a ripple in the heavens. That small act of endurance opened a spiritual file in your name that had not been accessed in years. Wait. Before we proceed, stop now and subscribe to this message. For what I am about to say will continue unfolding through many more signs, and I need you to remain connected to divine instruction. If you close this or miss the next call, the shift may come and pass you silently. Subscribe now, my child, so that what is destined for you never must wait again. Now come closer. I must reveal what I was shown. A tragedy is forming, but not as you expect. It is not merely a storm in the outer world. It is a deception, a spiritual trick. A person who once loved you is being spiritually manipulated. Someone who once protected your name is now repeating it in rooms they should not. While their lips speak kindness, their actions open doors inviting harm into your space. But here is the secret, they do not even know they are doing it. This is why you have been confused. This is why your spirit feels heavy. For what is happening is not of the physical world. It is spiritual. But my beloved, not all is lost. No, not at all. In truth, I bring you this message because the window to shift it remains open. For the next few hours, yes, only a few, you have the power to seal what was leaking, to protect what was vulnerable, and to reclaim what was almost stolen. A divine contract has been drafted in your name, and only your agreement can activate it. That is why I am here. That is why this message reaches you now and not later. For later will be too late. If you walk away now, you may walk straight into the very pain we seek to prevent. There is a sacred moment approaching in your day. A moment that will seem ordinary, but heaven has hidden a breakthrough within it. Only those who stay sensitive, alert, and spiritually aware will perceive it. You will either respond with faith or react with fear. Your choice will decide whether the tragedy unfolds or dissolves. My child, you are stronger than you realize. But strength without awareness can still walk into a trap. This is why you are being warned. A person is being moved toward your life at this moment. They carry something that will either build you or break you. Their energy is unstable. Their mind battles shadows, and your discernment will be the only light in the conversation. That is why you must not take the next meeting lightly. It is not random. Heaven will be watching your reaction, what you say, what you allow, what you ignore. You may feel a chill even as you read this. That is confirmation. Your spirit knows this is true. Your dreams may have already hinted at it, sudden images, unfamiliar faces, strange interruptions in your sleep. They were not just dreams. They were prophetic fragments. You are not crazy. You are chosen. You are being given spiritual intelligence before the physical event occurs. This is heaven's mercy in action. But it only works if you respond. And now, beloved, you must make a choice. Will you stay with this message until the final word? Or will you let fear, distraction, or doubt steal this protection from you? I ask you not merely as a messenger, but as your divine guard. I have fought for you before you even knew your name was written in the book of destiny. Now I fight again. But I need your trust. I need your spiritual agreement. And that begins by staying. My child, my beloved, the hourglass turns even as you read these words. With every grain of time falling, you are drawn either toward divine preservation or into a pit you did not see coming. I was not permitted to say these things before. Heaven waited. God waited. But something just happened, yes, just now, and that moment shifted the urgency in the spirit realm. You are now walking closer to the edge of a spiritual explosion than you realize. The saddest part is that most will only understand the cost after it is too late. But not you. You have been chosen to see behind the veil before the storm hits. That is mercy. That is favor. But it comes with responsibility. You must not ignore what you now feel deep in your chest. My beloved, something serious is taking place in your surroundings. A movement of spiritual energy seeks to cloak itself in normality, in routine, in the familiar. But I see it clearly. I see the smoke forming before the fire. You have asked God, why do I feel uneasy lately? This is why. You are stirred not by fear, but by foresight. The gift you carry makes you sensitive. The mantle on your life allows you to hear whispers others cannot. Right now, that gift is being activated because the next few days hold a potential shift that must be intercepted. You are the interception point. That is why this message came to you. You may have noticed people around you acting differently, someone distant, someone strangely silent, or perhaps too kind, too suddenly. That is not your imagination. That is the disguise of disruption trying to bypass your divine intuition. But heaven does not allow its chosen to be blind. Not when Archangel Michael is sent on assignment. I was given one mission: reach your soul before the darkness touches your light. If I succeed, you will be protected. But if this message is skipped, if you let doubt or delay steal your attention, the protection may come too late, and my heart would break. My child, let me be clear. This is not a normal message. This is not routine spiritual talk. This is a lifeline. A chain of events has already begun, and while most are still asleep in spirit, you are being awakened. God Himself whispered your name early this morning. In that whisper, He asked for your name to be sealed in protection. But heaven could not release that seal without your agreement. That agreement begins by receiving this word in full. Even now, someone tries to call you away. A distraction is forming. But beloved, I ask you, what could be more urgent than your divine survival? I have walked with warriors. I have stood at heaven's gates in battles raging across realms. Yet never have I seen a file so carefully hidden as yours. Until today, your spiritual record was kept locked until your latest cry reached God's throne. You thought you were alone. You thought your tears were invisible. But the moment you wept, something unlocked. The divine file with your name was opened, and inside, a warning and a reward. Both are before you now. What happens next depends on your choice. My beloved, you may feel something trembling within your soul. That is not fear. That is recognition. It is your spirit remembering what it always knew. This was always meant to be your moment. Yes, this tragedy can still be cancelled. That loss creeping in the shadows can still be reversed. But you must act in faith. Stay with me. Do not close this. Do not silence what heaven is urgently delivering. There is a reason this message appeared at this exact hour. It is tied to a divine countdown, and you are in the final moments of decision. If you have ever felt overlooked, discarded, forgotten, hear me now. That season ends today. The enemy tried to break you through delay, through disappointment, through people who swore they loved you but walked away when you needed them most. That pain was real. Heaven wept with you. But what comes next, if you stay in divine alignment, will be so holy, so healing, that even your past will begin to rewrite itself through the lens of redemption. You are being positioned for restoration, not destruction. Yet again, I say it depends on this very moment. Even now the angelic host awaits your response. I do not speak in metaphors. Angels surround you this minute. Some carry healing. Some carry warning. And I carry the sword of truth, of protection, of divine reversal. But my sword cannot activate without your yes. That, yes, begins by staying open, staying aware, staying here. For once this message ends, the instructions will begin. If you miss those instructions, you may walk into the very thing God is trying to keep from you. I must tell you something else. Heaven is not only warning you, it is trusting you. You are being asked to carry something, not just for yourself, but for someone else. Yes, someone close to you is blind to what is coming. But you are awake now. You are the intercessor, the chosen, the one heaven counts on to break the chain. This is why you have been under attack. This is why everything felt heavier lately. The enemy knew your moment of awakening was near. What he did not expect was this message. Your next act of faith will seal what I have started. So take a breath. Speak out loud, God, I receive this message. I receive the warning, and I accept the miracle you have hidden within it. Those words are powerful, my beloved. Do not merely think them, speak them. For what is coming requires both revelation and activation. This is not about surviving the storm. It is about stopping the storm before it starts. You have been given that authority. You have been trusted with that spiritual command. And now, something holy is happening. As you read these words, heaven is reviewing the file with your name. A new page is being written, titled, The Day They Chose to Believe. When that page is complete, the timeline heading toward tragedy will turn. It will shift directions. The conversation being planned against you will fall silent. The opportunity about to slip away will return, and the person who almost misjudged you will have an unexplained change of heart. That is the miracle. That is the mercy. My child, my beloved, the Spirit of God is not only watching over you, He is speaking to you now. Every word you read is part of a divine rescue written long before this day. You may not know it, but this moment, this exact breath, is tied to something sacred, ancient, eternal. A promise hovers over your life, and the enemy has tried to shake you loose from it. That is why the warfare increased. That is why you felt a weight you could not explain. It was not your imagination. It was interference, a demonic frequency trying to cloud your discernment, blur your vision, and stop you from realizing how close you are to a miracle that could rewrite your entire life. But heaven had other plans, and heaven always gets the final say. I need you to hear this in your spirit. You are not losing, you are transitioning. That shaking you feel is not the sound of your life falling apart. It is the sound of every lie breaking under the weight of divine truth. And the truth is this: you were chosen for this moment. This tragedy set to unfold around you, this subtle scheme nearly undetected, was seen by God long before it reached your doorstep. Now it is being interrupted. Heaven is issuing a cease and desist against every demonic operation mapped against your name. But your response matters. Do not take this moment lightly. Remain spiritually awake, for the enemy does not fear your past, he fears your future. I see it now, yes, clearly. There is a divine door, golden in color, sealed with symbols only heaven understands. Behind it is everything the enemy wanted to delay: a financial shift, a family healing, a divine connection, an opportunity that gathered dust because someone with influence forgot your name. Just now, that door shook. Do you feel it? That strange awareness in your chest is the Holy Spirit confirming this message is real. The shaking was not natural, it was supernatural. Your obedience is breaking things open in the unseen realm. But the enemy does not go down without a final attempt, always the most deceptive. He will send a voice that sounds like love but carries poison. He will send an offer that looks perfect but steals peace. He will send a delay disguised as a blessing. If you are not spiritually awake, you may step into the very thing designed to harm you. This is why I have not stopped speaking. This is why you are still reading. Heaven would not allow you to enter this next phase blind. You are being prepared, and preparation is protection. My beloved, do not be shocked if something unusual occurs in the next few hours, a message from an unexpected person, a sudden emotion mismatched to the moment, a dream feeling more real than usual. These are not coincidences. They are clues. The Holy Spirit is aligning signs in your favor, but you must stay sensitive. Do not ignore the unusual. Do not brush away the whisper. Your next instruction comes not through thunder, but through a whisper. Those who ignore the whisper will miss the miracle. Now I must reveal one more thing. A name is being spiritually highlighted, someone connected to your past, who once carried your trust but dropped it when you needed them most. They are being used again, not to destroy you completely, but to delay you long enough that you miss what is coming. But I declare now in the name of the Most High, their influence over your life ends today. You may feel a chill, or tears may rise without warning. That is not fear. That is freedom, for your spirit is being released. You are no longer under their shadow. You are no longer tied to their decision. You are free. And with that freedom comes favor. With that clarity comes calling. With that awareness comes acceleration. You were never meant to stay stuck. You were always meant to soar. Now the sky clears. Now the clouds part. Now the tragedy is seen for what it is, a setup for a supernatural turnaround. But do not relax yet. There is still more to be said. The next portion of this message will show you how to walk into the miracle. You have been warned. You have been awakened. Now you must be aligned. My child, my beloved, your life is about to pass through a divine checkpoint. Once you cross this line, nothing will ever be the same. What the enemy meant for tragedy, heaven is rewriting as testimony. This sacred reversal happens only for those who do not look away from the warning. That is why this moment, this exact heartbeat, is not just a message. It is a portal. You have stepped into it by staying with these words. Now I must take you deeper. What I reveal next is not for the faint of heart. It is not for the doubters or the half asleep. It is for you, the chosen one, who still believes even when everything tries to crush that belief. And I see it now, God is rising in your story. And the enemy is trembling. My child, I must tell you another truth. Your story has been watched, not only by heaven, but by those who envy your light. Some smiled in your face but resented your resilience. They watched you endure battles they thought would destroy you. When you did not fall apart, they grew bitter. Some even said, "How are they still standing?" They do not understand you were held up by angels. That even when you felt weak, your spirit was surrounded. Now they want to shake what they could not break. They plan to speak again, louder. This moment determines whether their words take root or are uprooted before they land. A divine firewall heaven seeks to place around you must be installed before sunset. I know that may sound strange, but it is true. In the next few hours, something will be said. Something will be sent. It may look like a message, a phone call, or a silence heavier than normal. That moment is the final piece of the trap. But you are now aware. You now hold the power to walk around what was set to make you fall. Your obedience now activates protection stretching far beyond this hour, covering your name, your family, your finances, your future. My child, my beloved, it grieves me to say this, but someone is walking toward you with a message not from God. They may look familiar. They may sound loving, but something hidden behind their eyes remains unspoken. Their words may carry smiles, but their heart carries something else entirely. Understand this, they are not the enemy, but they are being used by one. That is why your soul has felt unsafe lately. That is why you second-guessed people who never gave you reason before. Your spirit sees what your eyes do not. Heaven confirms it now through me. You are warned not to entertain every voice entering your life this week, for one will try to twist your path away from where God was about to take you. The enemy is in a hurry because something good, something life-changing, is about to arrive. A divine window is opening, and your name is on the list of those called into it. The moment the enemy saw that blessing approved, he sent a disruption, not a visible storm, but a slow-moving tragedy disguised as good advice, false love, or helpful concern. But I, Archangel Michael, see straight through the deception. I stand between you and the destruction, if you let me. But I need you to stay open. Stay here. Receive the next few words, for they come not from me, but from the highest place in heaven. God is speaking, and what he says now is sacred. The tragedy trying to approach you is not just about you. It is about your bloodline. Your decisions today echo through generations. The enemy knows if he can shake you, he can delay them. This is why he fights so hard now. But the fact you are still reading, still standing, still holding on means he has not won. And he never will, unless you give him permission by walking away from the truth being revealed now. I say this with deepest love, do not be casual with this moment. I know life is full of distractions. I know your heart has been tired. But this is not the time to sleep. This is not the time to brush off your instincts. This is the time to listen, for what you hear now could break the curse, close the trap, and unlock the miracle in one holy motion. Let me be clear, beloved. The person being used against you is unaware. They are not wicked, but they are wounded. Their wounds open the door for the enemy to whisper. They have begun to envy you quietly. They admire your light but resent your growth. They miss who you used to be, because the new version of you makes them feel small. This is why their hearts shifted. Heaven showed me the very moment it happened, recent, very recent. They still smile around you, but their energy has changed. You felt it, that sudden awkwardness, that feeling they are hiding something. You were not wrong. Your spirit caught it. Now I confirm it. But do not fear. Do not panic. Do not hate them. Instead, rise. Rise into awareness. Rise into authority. Declare over your name that no weapon formed, no matter how secret, shall prosper. When you speak, the heavens listen. You are not alone, my child. You were never alone. Right now, angels gather in your favor. Even as this message flows, angelic forces surround your name. They stand in places you cannot see, boardrooms, group chats, family homes, near doors about to open to the wrong people. The angels guard your future. But they await one final signal from you, faith. Your next act of faith will seal what I have started. So take a breath. Speak out loud, God, I receive this message. I receive the warning, and I accept the miracle you have hidden within it. Those words are powerful, my beloved. Do not just think them, speak them. For what is coming requires both revelation and activation. This is not about surviving the storm. It is about stopping the storm before it starts. You have been given that authority. You have been trusted with that spiritual command. And now, something holy is happening. As you read these words, heaven reviews the file with your name. A new page is written, the day they chose to believe. When that page is complete, the timeline heading toward tragedy will turn. It will shift directions. The conversation planned against you will fall silent. The opportunity about to slip away will return, and the person who almost misjudged you will have a change of heart they cannot explain. That is the miracle. That is the mercy. My child, my beloved, the hour is now. The moment you have stayed for has arrived. The final seal of this revelation is about to be placed upon your spirit, and with it, a divine assignment that will transform your fear into unshakable faith. I saw in the spirit a clock whose hands were frozen. This clock represented your season of waiting, the months or even years where heaven seemed silent and your prayers felt unanswered. The enemy whispered that time had forgotten you, that your destiny was delayed indefinitely. But today, at this very second, those hands are beginning to move. Not at a normal pace, but with supernatural speed. Everything you believed was lost or postponed is now accelerating toward you. The delay is being redeemed. The time you thought was wasted is being reclaimed and multiplied. But listen, for there is a counter-move. The enemy will send a spirit of fatigue, a heavy lethargy, to make you sleep through this acceleration. You may feel an unusual desire to withdraw, to nap, to put off decisive action. This is not natural tiredness. This is a spiritual sedative meant to make you miss the moment of arrival. You must fight it with praise. You must counter it with declaration. The moment you feel that heaviness, speak aloud, I am awake in the Spirit. I receive heaven's acceleration. I will not sleep through my shift. Now, I must show you the face of the breakthrough. It is not a lottery win. It is not a stranger handing you a fortune. It is a person you have already met. It is a door you have already walked past. It is an idea you previously dismissed. Heaven is going to cause that person to remember you with favor. Heaven is going to cause that door to swing open a second time. Heaven is going to cause that idea to ignite with divine strategy. Your breakthrough is hidden in something familiar, but it will appear in an unfamiliar way. It will look like a second chance, but it is actually a divine reset. This is why the attack came. The enemy knew this reset was coming, and he sought to pollute your mind with bitterness over past failures, to make you cynical so you would not recognize the reset when it appeared. He wanted you to see the second chance and call it a repetition of pain. But now your eyes are anointed. You will see with discernment. You will recognize the reset, and you will step into it without the fear of the past. There is a number attached to this turnaround. It is the number 7. In the next 7 days, you will witness a completion of one cycle and the sudden beginning of another. Pay attention to anything that occurs in sequences of 7, a phone call at 7, a message with 7 words, an offer with 7 points. This is heaven's signature on your turnaround, confirming that what is happening is divinely orchestrated and complete. Now, for your final instruction, the sacred action you must take to lock this protection into place. Before sunset today, you must perform a physical act of faith that corresponds to this spiritual truth. It must be simple, but it must be intentional. Here is what you must do. Find a vessel of water. A cup, a glass, a bowl. Hold it in your hands and speak over it. Say, in the name of the Most High, I command every delay, every curse, every hidden agreement meant to trap me to be dissolved from my path. I release the miracle of divine timing into this water. Pour it out at a threshold. Your front door, the base of a tree, even a sink. As you pour, say, as this water flows, so do the barriers. As this water is released, so is my blessing. I step from the old timeline into the new. The tragedy is cancelled. The miracle is activated. This act is not magic. It is an agreement. It is your spirit, soul, and body aligning with the decree of heaven. It creates a spiritual landmark in your life, a point you can look back to and say, there, I agreed with my deliverance. My beloved, the scroll with your name is now being rolled up and sealed with a golden seal. The shadow that tried to stain it has been erased by the blood of the Lamb and the word of your testimony. The divine firewall is installed. The angels have their orders. You will feel a profound peace descend upon you in the next 24 hours, a peace that defies logic, a calm in the center of what might still be swirling around you. That peace is your signal. That is the confirmation that the shift has been accomplished in the spirit and is now manifesting in the natural. When you meet that person, you will have the right words. When you face that decision, you will have sudden clarity. When the whisper of betrayal comes, it will sound hollow and powerless to your ears. You are shielded. You are armed with truth. You are escorted by hosts of heaven. This is your last moment within this message. You have stayed. You have believed. You have received. The red alert over your name has now changed to a golden light of preservation. The tragedy is disarmed. The story continues, but the enemy's plot has been exposed and nullified. Go now, in the authority you have always carried but are now fully aware of. You are not a victim of your circumstances. You are a victor in the making. You are not avoiding a fall, you are preparing for a flight. Archangel Michael has spoken. The message is complete. The portal remains open. Walk through it, and do not look back. Amen. My child, my beloved, You stayed, and heaven noticed. What was forming against you has now been exposed, and protection has been activated because you chose awareness over distraction. Before you leave, subscribe, so you remain connected when heaven releases the next instruction meant to guard your future. Do not walk away now. This is where your protection continues.